In this video, I'm going to show how you can specify what external script runs in response to native automation. So I have a simple table here, and one of the properties is a date range, and I have a native automation set such that whenever the date range is edited, I am going to add a new page to my PM automation table. I'm going to fill in the title stating where the automation came from, and I'm specifying the name of my external script, which is change project stage dates. And I have other scripts that are available to me here from a drop-down. So I also have a timeline view, and let's go ahead and change the date range of one of those things there. And when I do that, because of the automation, there will automatically be a new row added, as we see right here, and it indicates that this is a request. Now on my PM automation table, there's a second automation set up that anytime I get a new row here, I am going to send a notice to Slack. This is the free version of Slack, and I'm just telling my channel PM dashboard that something happened. The only reason for sending to Slack is because there is a free add-on that lets you call outgoing webhooks in response to messages from Slack. I'm using Make.com for my automation, so it's listening on the webhook. As soon as it gets a request, it is going to do a full search on that PM automation table, and it is specifically looking for any records where the status is requested. It is deliberately looking at them in timestamp order and only popping one item off at a time. So the filter, I check to make sure that something was returned. And if there is, the first thing that I'm going to do is look in my automation table to see, do I have duplicate requests? So for example, if I had an automation set to make a request if something changed and 3, 4, 5 rows changed at once, that would give me 5 requests in my automation table at once. But I don't want to go through this script 5 times, which is why the first thing I do here is I check, is this a request that has duplicates? And if I do, I delete the duplicate requests. Next, I set the status of the request that I am currently working on to in process, and then I fire the webhook for the individual request that I just asked for. So there's a separate table for all of my automation scripts, and if I open that up, we see that each one of my external scripts has its own webhook and the link where I can go directly to edit that scenario. My script completes and it has updated the results. The way that the final results make their way back into my automation table is that my automation launcher, when it fires off the secondary webhook, I wait for the second automation to complete, and then I save from that automation whatever the web response was, and I put that into my automation table in Notion. So for example, here's the secondary automation that was run. It got its call on the webhook, did all of the work that it needed to, and then saved as a webhook response the result, which gets pushed back into Notion. Essential to driving the process is a list of all of my external scenarios, whatever name I want to give them, the webhook that they are listening on. I have the link to edit those scenarios directly here just for convenience, a summary of what those external automations do, when it was last run, and how many times it's been run. So when I have an additional automation that I want to run, the first thing I do is I will put the name of the external scenario here. This makes it available for me to select inside of Notion automations to fire whenever that native Notion event happens.